What up, my friends? How you doing? My stomach was making the weirdest noise before I started, to the point where I thought there was some weird little animal in the room. I was literally looking around before I realized it was just my stomach getting goofy. How you doing tonight, my friends? We are here for a Sunday night chill stream. Let's grab the live stream link, share that in the Discord, and then we shall do our helloifications. All right, so let's see. Bam. If you weren't over on the live stream channel earlier, then you missed out on some truly awful arena gameplay where I played horrifically. I played so badly. I made multiple mistakes. Some mistakes more than once. The exact same mistake. It's pretty sad. All right, there we go. Live stream links have been shared. Let's do our hellos. What up, Aang, Teferi, Zircon, Jess, Concrete, Raven, Keebler, Shelton, Gerthulu, James, Gossett, Dragon, Potts, Jojo. Who else do we got in here? Gerthulu, Error, Some, Lizards, Yamagoro, Dunn, Roman, Rays, Kurt. All right, I think that I helloed everybody. Is that a French bread pillow? It sure is. It sure is. It's pretty ridiculous, isn't it? It also has, like, the little metal clasp that you would have at the end of a zipper, but it does not zip. It's just there. It's weird, honestly. I have no idea why it's made the way it is, but it's a cool pillow, so who cares, right? Who cares? So, I don't know how many of you guys heard already, but the first set of the year for Marvel for 2025 is going to be Spiderman. It's going to be a full-on, full-size set, similar to Lord of the Rings, and it's going to be like modern legal, not standard legal. So we'll see how it goes for the second set. I doubt that the second one is going to be based on a particular character. You know what I mean? I think that's probably where we're going to see like all your Wolverines and your Wolverines and all the other Marvel guys, you know? That's what I expect. I don't know if the cards from the secret layers that we're getting in advance are also going to be in the regular set, but I expect not. I'm guessing that they'll probably have different variations of the characters that we saw there. Hold on, universe is trying to take me out. So we'll probably see different versions of Wolverine and Storm and everybody in that. So the secret layer stuff is most likely going to be only available there, with maybe the exception of it's possible that the actual characters, Captain America, Storm, those cards might show up in the set with all the extra ones that they added in that aren't like, because every other card except the hero card in the set is a reprint. So it might be that we will still get the hero cards with different artwork and the same abilities, but none of the other reprint cards. That's the only real overlap I could see happening, you know? What up, Joe? What up, Bear? What's up, Juglum? DJ Longhair, what's going on, my man? How you doing? Joe, that is usually how omniscience goes. One person just gets to railroad the other. Or if you're an idiot like me, you go ahead and play the wrong side of your room card and you don't draw 3 and discard 1. And you do it twice in the same stream. The mistakes I make are so noobish. It's genuinely hilarious. It's ridiculous. Demet, you love my show. You think I'm amazing and you enjoy what I do. Thanks, buddy. There'd be less flavor in the world without me. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. I feel you on that. I love the flavor of Magic the Gathering. Well, the original Magic the Gathering. Like, before they started to bleed into other things so much. I found a random stack of old Magic cards while I've got like a big box there behind me. and I was going through it, and I found a bunch of nostalgic era, like old school 1994 Magic cards. I've got mostly revised with a handful of Chronicles and stuff in here as well. So it's a cool mix, man. It's a cool mix. Look at how beat up this regrowth is. From the days when we used to play without sleeves, bro. Circles of Protection. I remember how awesome I thought these were. It's so dope. Also, the color hosers back in those days were insane. 4 mana, destroy all islands. Like, what? You know? Pretty crazy. Gloom. All white spells cost 3 more to cast. You could Dark Ritual this out on the first turn against a white deck and just hose them, bro. Absolutely hose them. Oh, I loved those days. The Unholy Strength before they removed the pentagram in the back. Haddle, you think they're going to print the secret layers again? Wizards has never printed a secret layer again, and they're always running at full capacity to make the product. So I would put the chance of them reprinting those secret layers at 0%. Or if I'm being generous, 0.1%. I wouldn't count on it. If you want the secret layers, fucking get them the first time around, you know? Because there's no chance they're going to reprint the entire secret layer. The only chance you have is the hero card from the secret layer is the only one that has a chance of being reprinted. The rest of the cards will not. The other like Storm version of Ice Storm and stuff, there's no chance. Especially since they're not randomly throwing all this crap into Modern. This set will be Modern, right? So it'll be interesting to see because Modern sets, they have to disrupt Modern. That's Wizards' new mode of operation. They have to have cards that are powerful enough that they disrupt the Modern format, which means we will have a scenario where not only Lord of the Rings, like we'll probably have a wacky scenario where the One Ring will still be dominant in Modern and some weird Marvel cards too. So Magic is getting really goofy, honestly, with its flavor overall. And in Modern, it's just the flavor's obliterated. In Standard, I mean, we already have detectives and cowboys and now horror goobers and stuff, but like not the Innistrad horror. So I guess being fair, that is also goofy, right? That is goofy. Is the secret layer limited print run? Drock? Yes, it is. Drygon, they'd only be with universe reprints too. Same card text, but not. Oh, I see what you're saying. Universes within cards. Here's the problem that Wizards runs into with universes within. So they've told us before they're going to do universes within. And there's a bunch of cards we were already supposed to get for universes within. But those were supposed to be list cards, right? You remember the list where they have the little planeswalker symbol and one out of every 8 packs had a list card? Well, they've changed the list now. The list is only special guests, and it only shows up in 1.5% of packs. Instead of like 12.5%, 1.5%. So there are 10 times less list cards now. So there's 10 times less places to put the universes within cards. So even if they want to make them, where are they going to put them, right? That's the reality. Roman, you use mostly proxies, but only one card of each of the cards that you proxy. At this point, I don't care how much people proxy. People can use whatever proxies they want, as many as they want. Wizards of the Coast has shown us that they don't have respect for the game, and they don't have respect for us. So from that viewpoint, ever since Magic 30, my viewpoint on proxies has radically changed. Before I used to be, I don't want to use proxies myself, but you go ahead. Now I'm like, everybody, knock yourself out, proxy as much as you want. I'll happily use them too. Ultimately, I'd still like to have the real deal Magic cards. I would, but before I wouldn't use proxies. I had a really difficult time with it because Magic cards felt like something special, you know, like the old era stuff. But Wizards has freed me of that illusion, and now I can get proxies of things that literally are better quality than what Wizards is printing. So You know? That's right, Roman. When it comes to modern sets, force and rotation, 100%. 100%. Jess, the Marvel stuff makes you feel like a 7-year-old? Well, enjoy yourself. They're making the stuff. You may as well enjoy it, right? At the end of the day, I do not like Wizards of the Coast eroding the flavor of Magic the Gathering. I like it as swords and sorcery, and I believe that it diminishes the game when they bring all these IPs in. But that doesn't change the fact that Wizards of the Coast is going to do it regardless of my feelings. So you may as well have fun with it, right? At the end of the day, you may as well enjoy yourself. Life is short. Have fun playing Magic. I'm not getting too bent out of shape about it. I accept it for what it is. Wizards of the Coast is getting more and more desperate. They don't believe in their own capability of making worthwhile sets. And I mean, if you look at things like Markov Manor, Thunder Junction, they're not great. They're not great. And Duskmourn is almost as bad as Thunder Junction. Neither of them are as bad as Markov Manor, because that's a nightmare. But yeah, like they don't put that much effort in anymore because they're constantly making new products. So find your enjoyment where you can and whatever. I'm not worrying about it, you know? That's right. 1.5% of packs have the special guests now, and that's it. That's it. Universes within seems like a dumb term. Well, see, they need a way to specify that it's in-world Magic cards that were originally printed as Universe Beyond. So while it is a bit of an unwieldy term, it does distinctively determine what those cards are for people, right? So Drygon, you got mixed feelings about it? Well, I mean, you started with Doctor Who, so Magic was never, like, if you didn't start at the beginning, if you got into Magic in the last couple of years, it's already had a bunch of random crossovers. So that just feels normal to you. Why let it bother you? There's tons of card games that have all kinds of crossovers. And if I hop into a game that has crossovers, I'm not upset about it. That's what the game is to me when I join it, right? Magic the Gathering had a consistent concept for the first 25 years. That's what I fell in love with. That's what I still love the most. So it's a different beast for me. But if I started playing, let's say, for example, Weeb Schwarz, then I don't care if they have 15, 20, 30 different properties in them. That's what they're already doing, right? So whatever. There's that, what's it called? What is it? I got the box down there, but I can't read it properly from here. It's a Cowboy Bebop. Is it UFS? Something like that? Universal Fighting System? They do all kinds of different properties. So, I mean, it's all the things that are happening at the same time. It's Wizards moving away from what they originally made. It's lazy cash grabs. It's ultra power creep. Like, there's so many things going on all at once that lead to bad feels. That's the reality. Roman, no, that's not correct. Warhammer, we already left. We already left. As soon as they did The Walking Dead, where we literally just had a parallel Earth with zombies and all that, like Warhammer is late to the party, man. That was definitely not when they walked away. When it comes to the first set that they really pulled the stuff with, in terms of Magic, it's Ikoria. We were supposed to get a second of Throne of Eldraine set, but Wizards needed a Godzilla tie-in set, and they couldn't do that in Throne of Eldraine, so they arbitrarily called Ikoria Lair of Behemoths, even though there's only 4 big creatures in the entire set, and it's not about behemoths, but they called it Lair of Behemoths, so they go, check it out, Godzilla ties into it, and then they printed Godzilla cards to go with it, right? So, Walking Dead was the first secret lair to take us out of Magic the Gathering's world. And Ikoria was the first actual set to take us out of Magic's world. And Ikoria was a mishmash of garbage because they just took a bunch of assets they had for Throne of Eldraine 2 and repurposed them. All of the bonders from Ikoria were actually meant to be, like the original Throne of Eldraine had Man versus the Wilds. But the second Throne of Eldraine was supposed to bring another group in between there where it's Man and Wilds like teaming up. So you have Man, you have Wilds, and then you have Man and Wilds together as a team. And those are the things that became the bonders. And they really ham-fistedly crammed a bunch of stuff together. So you have artwork where Luca is shown in love with this tiger friend, and he striped his hair like it and everything. But in the written story, Luca hated that tiger for its entire life. They never became friends at any point, which was incredibly confusing. The whole story, I knew that was the one thing I knew was going to happen. I'm like, wow, they're doing a good job of making him dislike him at first, but then they'll become friends. Oh, the cat's dead and they're not friends, and what? Who's the voice in the Ozolith? We still don't know who the voice in the Ozolith was. And they shoved, what is her name? Who was the one planeswalker that they shoved in there? They changed her artwork. Oh, why can't I think of her name right now? Was it Narset? So they painted crystals onto her artwork and went, oh, those are Icorian crystals. And then in the written story, Vivian goes, I saw Narset around here somewhere. And it's like, okay. Vivian just said that to Luca. I saw Narset. Was it Narset? Am I getting that confused with somebody else? It's the other lady planeswalker who was in that set. She's like a monk. Olivier, did they reveal any spoilers for the Spider-Man set? Nah, they gave like no details. Literally, it just says, friendly, amazing, spectacular. Magic the Gathering. Marvel's Spider-Man slings cards from across the Spider-Verse into your favorite decks coming 2025. So that set's not coming out for like about 6 to 8 months. They're not showing spoilers for that now. That's not happening. The next thing we're going to be getting spoilers for is Foundations, and that'll start in about a week. Bradford, Bloomburrow was great. I agree. They will return to Bloomburrow. Bloomburrow did well on the scale they used to determine whether they'll go back to Worlds. So, for example, Thunder Junction got such a poor reception that the lower the number, the higher the chance that you'll return to the plane. Thunder Junction is a 7. It's called the Rabaya scale. It's named after the Arabian Nights world that we will never, ever, ever go back to, right? So, yeah, that's the reality. So that's the deal. So we can go back to Bloomburrow, absolutely, 100%. Concrete, bro, I'm with you. I wish that Wizards of the Coast focused on actual genuine Magic stories. Bloomburrow was the most enjoyable story we have gotten all year. It was rushed, but at least it was coherent. My complaints about the Bloomburrow story are the kind of complaints that I can live with, where it's like, okay, the story actually makes sense. My biggest complaint about the Bloomburrow story was due to its rush nature, we didn't get the proper sequence that you should get in a story where the heroes assemble, they run into the underlings. So it should have gone like this. What happened in the story is they ran into Cruel Claw's underlings and battled them, right? And then the next step in that progression is to locate Cruel Claw and battle him. And then you think you've defeated the evil, but then Cruel Claw goes, I was being paid. I'm just working under the orders of somebody else. Who? Who are you working for? And then he goes, go to the city of Omenport and you'll find out. It goes all the way to the top. And then they go to the king and they beseech his help. And that's when the king reveals, wait, you know about my evil plan? Wah, 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 wah. But instead in the story, we went straight from Cruel Claw's underlings to, we go to the city, we talk to Glarb, and Glarb goes, what? Hey, Cruel Claw, come on out, buddy. And then they both get in on a fight. And it's like, oh, it should go underlings, mini boss, major boss, right? But that's the level of complaint I can live with. The story is coherent. Millmaster says, we don't care if you play, we just care if you buy. Well, that is Wizards of the Coast's mentality now, right? You are not wrong, but you are Lord of the board, lording over everyone in the stream, all that you survey. Thanks for the super chat, big boy. Throat, yeah, I don't know anything about Marvel and the Versus system or anything like that, bro. Honestly. I don't know anything about Marvel cards aside from the ones they put out in the 90s. I remember liking the artwork on them, but losing interest really quickly because it's not a game that you can play, you know? Like, collecting cards has a level of appeal. I remember when my dad found out I got into Magic the Gathering, he thought that meant that I just liked cards. So he bought me a box of hockey cards. And I collected a set. I enjoyed opening the packs and sorting out all the cards and like trying to get one of each, trading for the ones I didn't have. But as soon as I completed the set, I was just like, this means nothing to me. I don't care about these guys. I don't care about their stats in hockey. I don't even care about sports. I didn't play sports. I didn't watch sports. Sports was meaningless to me. Whereas Magic the Gathering, I was obsessed with. This is my era right here, bro. These are super nostalgic. No matter what happens, even if I was to sell off a good portion of my collection, I would keep a box of old school memory cards that I could just go through. At least one of each, just for the memories. I remember how intense this artwork felt crazy to me. I'm like, imagine the pure elemental power that's being unleashed to disintegrate somebody to the point where there's nothing left of them. And how horrific that would feel happening to you, right? That's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Olivier, why would they focus on Magic lore and cards when they're making so much money in Universe Beyond? It remains to be seen, actually, how profitable Universe Beyond is comparatively over a longer time frame. In the short-term cash grab, it's definitely been working out for them. There's no question about that. Lord of the Rings worked out very well. The serialized One Ring was a huge success, but at the same time, Lord of the Rings is barely Universes Beyond, right? Like Lord of the Rings compared to Magic the Gathering is comparing like Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. You look at them and go, I can see a lot of parallels between them. Magic the Gathering's other Universe Beyond stuff compared to Magic is comparing Scooby-Doo and a spatula. And you're just like, well, I guess they both start with S? Like, that's the deal. That's the deal. So Lord of the Rings is swords and sorcery, high fantasy, the stuff that we're all accustomed to. And Lord of the Rings is a huge property. So I'm genuinely curious to see how well this plan is going to go for them over the next number of years. Because we'll get the real answer when we see how much they ratchet it up from here. But they've clearly lost faith in their own worlds. And this year of sets is not going to restore faith, right? Like, Markov Manor, failure. Thunder Junction, failure. Bloomburrow success, swords and sorcery. People go, that's not like traditional Magic because it's animals. And it's like, they've had animals in Magic all along. And humanoids that are like animalistic, all of it. So yeah, it is. It counts as swords and sorcery. And Duskmourn, not as successful as Bloomburrow. And not like a banger set that's flying off the shelf. I was talking to a buddy who runs the LGS I go to, and he's talking about how he needs to discount that stuff, and he's going to wait for Black Friday so that it's not obvious that he is like dumping this stuff because it's not great product. Foundations is coming out. He told his distributor, I'll take way less of that stuff. So Bloomburrow is going to be their biggest in-universe success of the year. And they've learned a bunch of lessons from the fails of this year, but those won't be in effect next year. So the space opera set, the race car death race set will all be made under the same auspices as the sets that came out this year. And it's going to be another rough year for regular Magic sets. So you're going to have high-level individuals at the company just looking at numbers and going, the sets we're designing aren't doing well. And only Universe Beyonds are doing well. But that's because you're not putting in the effort or care, and you're going for gimmicks. And their in-universe sets are essentially just Universe Beyond sets cloaked. Thunder Junction is cloaked Universe Beyond, right? And they didn't even have the balls to put the guns into it, right? Same thing with Duskmourn. Duskmourn isn't like Innistrad. It is totally cloaked Universe Beyond. So, like we're doing tons of in-universe sets, says Mark Rosewater, but they're space operas and death races, which are only in universe because you say so. You could literally just go, the Warhammer universe is part of Magic now, and say it's an in-universe set. So this is going to be a very diminishing returns kind of scenario. That's what's going on. Concrete, when you go to conventions, you make it your goal to get older era stuff signed? Right on. Right on. Brad, there's no point in feeling disgusted with yourself when the Final Fantasy stuff comes out. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Who cares? Who cares? There's a bunch of Universe Beyond stuff that I enjoy. It doesn't matter. You're not betraying anything. You're getting a product that you like. Have fun, bro. Life is short. There's no point in diminishing your enjoyment of this stuff. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. You know what I mean? That's why I don't spend my time just raging about it. Go, they need to... It's like, if they're in charge of the company, they get to make what they want to make. As far as I'm concerned, this isn't good for the long-term health of the game, but they don't care about the long-term health of the game. I'm starting to think Wizards doesn't believe there is the long-term for Magic the Gathering anymore. I think that, like, the fact that they came after the reserved list and what they're doing now is signs that they might think it's the end time. Their customer base is aging out. The average Magic player is 30 years or older. And from the perspective of Hasbro, who sells toys to the youngins, that is very troubling. So they've got to try and score as much money from us in as short a time as possible. Pellinor, do I plan to play in a Foundations pre-release? Yes, I do want to play in the Foundations pre-release. I like to go to the pre-release of every set. That is one of the more enjoyable ones to go to because I get to see people I haven't seen in a while. Everybody's playing on the same footing. And also, people hook me up. They send money over to the game store. They use the game store's PayPal and send money for me to use to pay for it. So it's a gift from a fan as well. So there's multiple levels of enjoyment to it. And yes, I definitely do want to go to the Foundations as well. Olivier, what do I think about buyouts of old collector boxes? I think that people who want to speculate on Magic the Gathering are desperate for targets. And I think in the long run, considering remastered sets and Wizards' predilections for reprints, that there are no products that you can buy and hold that will make you money over the long term. And any real money that people are making is made on short-term specs mostly. That's it. That's it. Yeah, exactly, Millmaster. Unless getting a subpar Magic product is keeping you from another more enjoyable hobby or your friends or family, what's the problem? Just enjoy yourself. Who cares? It got made. Have fun with it. The nature of Magic the Gathering has fundamentally changed, and you are absolutely allowed to enjoy whatever you want. The same way you're allowed to not enjoy aspects of it. It's not a betrayal to get yourself stuff that you want. Have fun. Have fun. Like, I like the look of those Marvel Secret Layers. I think it's goofy they put Marvel in Magic, but I would totally take those Marvel Secret Layers. Absolutely, you know? Especially the Wolverine one, because, man, Wolverine's fucking cool. And the Storm one is pretty sweet, too, right? Captain America's ability is goofy. Like, at the end of the day, they all function within Magic the Gathering's mechanics. And like I've said before, I've been playing on Arena. And there are definitely Thunder Junction cards in the decks that I've been playing, right? So, same with stupid detective stuff. The cards still work. They still do the things. And the stuff they make now is busted. So, 'tis what it is. Brad, you're being exploited no matter what you buy from Wizards of the Coast, right? They're overcharging you and giving you low quality regardless of what skin's on it. So, who cares? There's no point. There's no point in, like, you like Final Fantasy, they made Final Fantasy cards. End of sentence. Get it. If they made fucking Legend of Zelda, Magic the Gathering stuff, give me all of it. 100%. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Right? Like, there's been years now of this Universe Beyond stuff. We're way past the point of, like, when people now go, I refuse to play Universe Beyond. I won't play with them. And if anybody else has them, I'm leaving or flipping the table. I'm like, well, that's quaint. That is an antiquated position to have at this point because it's been years now. It's been years. The termites are in the walls, son. There ain't no getting them out. There ain't no getting them out. Dragon, as long as they keep printing new sets, you'll keep buying the heck out of packs. There you go. Enjoy yourself. Luxury, yep, just have fun and enjoy what you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ned, you hate everything about the universe beyond, but you're going to spend so much on Final Fantasy and Spider-Man? Have fun. Fill your boots, bro. Fill your boots. Breakstop, what do I think about MagicCon not hosting an event in Europe this year? Indifferent, really? I mean, if they thought there was enough demand or it was worth it, they would do it, I guess. I don't pay that much attention to the MagicCons, really. At least not in the part of the world that in the parts of the world I'm not in, you know? Olivier, never say never. Never say never. You have no idea. You have no idea if they could make a deal for Legend of Zelda. It's unlikely, but in this world of corporatism, money talks, son. Money talks. That's the deal. Royal, you're excited to play with Storm? Well, make sure you pick it up on like November 4th or whatever before it sells out, bro. Throne, there you go. You came in through Doctor Who. There's people who came into Magic through Warhammer and everything like that. So, like, they already caused a mass exodus of people between the Universes Beyond and Magic 30. And at this point, they've bled out a lot of the people who are going to leave. So the reality is they don't really lose out by throwing more Universe Beyond in terms of like losing part of their player base anymore, right? It's not like cracking the player base apart, but they're also not doing the things they used to do that kept the game flowing and kept people in for longer. So I don't see this as a long-term sustainable way to handle Magic. That's what it looks like to me. So, but we'll see. I'm willing to admit that I have a very particular viewpoint, and reality may turn out to be something different, right? I've made a bunch of predictions that have been correct, but not every prediction that I've made has been correct. So I could be wrong about this. Magic could be thriving 25 years from now. I fucking doubt it because of the way Wizards is handling things, but it could. Mustafa, I have no idea. I have no idea how fast the stuff will sell out because it's impossible to predict how much Wizards has produced to meet demand. The fact that they're making multiple Marvel sets says to me that they expect a lot of people will want this. So I imagine that they have printed a lot of them. But if it was me and I wanted it, I would order it the first fucking day. That's it. If you think that you can just wait a couple of weeks, you're probably going to be sad. You might turn out that one of the secret layers, the crappiest ones left over, the one you don't want. It's totally a jump on it right away scenario. Olivia, that doesn't make sense. Why would Nintendo send the Pinkertons to Wizards of the Coast if they agreed to let them use the IP? Wizards doesn't just use other people's IP. Some moron left a comment on that video where I was talking about how somebody stole the Marvel stuff. And he's like, anybody who thinks that Wizards didn't get permission to print these cards is a goof. And it's like, bro, how much brain damage do you have? Do you just read the title and go, I know what this is about? You don't. Well, here's my opinion. You're a goof if you think Wizards did this illegally. Yeah, you're fucking stupid. Maybe you should listen to what the video's about, idiot, before you open your fucking worthless mouth. Hey, look, I'm dumb, but I love my opinion. Hey, good for you, stupid. People are ridiculous. They be ridiculous. What up, Corner? Visiting the in-laws in Chicago, huh? All right. All right. DJ Long, I'm gonna say whatever you want, man. I've seen Legend of Zelda fucking scratch cards and stuff, and anything can change. Anything. Years ago, you could have said, "Hey, guess what? They're gonna make Marvel Magic the Gathering cards," and you go, "Nope, Magic's really tight with its IP, super tight with its IP. In fact, they won't even let D&D and Magic the Gathering mesh. So we're dealing with giant companies and money. So you can say whatever you want. Doesn't matter what anybody says to me. You will never fucking convince me that it's not possible because corporations love money. This isn't a family talking about selling their child, okay? This is literally a company. So anything's possible. Look what happened to Magic the Gathering. This would seem impossible if you went back in time. So it is absolutely possible for there to be Legend of Zelda Magic the Gathering cards, Super Mario Magic the Gathering cards. It is possible. It might not be probable, but it is illogical to say that it's impossible. You are literally ignoring the logical way to view it. That's the reality. That's the reality. Nick, the new space set will not be stupid crap like Infinity. It will be like Duskmourn is. So think of all the different space franchises you like. There'll be nods to Star Trek. There'll be nods to Star Wars. There'll be nods to things like The Fifth Element and other things that people think of when it comes to space worlds. Because Wizards is very much going for the low-hanging tropey style fruit. And with the deal that they've made with Disney for the Marvel stuff, there's no reason not to assume there won't be things like Star Wars secret layers to go along with it as well, right? Elder Scrolls, that could totally happen. There's no reason that it couldn't. DC and Magic, why not? They got Marvel, right? So they're already in the comic book world. There's no reason they couldn't do DC. What up, Kenny? Let's be real, to do a Hot Pocket tie-in, they'll collaborate with anyone for money. Well, at this point, Wizards of the Coast is trying to get everything and anything. They tried to do a Minecraft tie-in, but that fell apart. And that's why we ended up with the world that was supposed to be the Minecraft world shoved inside of Ixalan. Strixhaven was meant to be a Harry Potter tie-in, but that fell through. So Wizards has been trying to do, I wouldn't be surprised if Kaldheim had some kind of thing they were trying to connect it to, but that one's not as obvious to me, so I don't definitively have whatever. But ever since Ikoria, Wizards has been leaning more and more into trying to have tie-ins. The Ixalan one fell apart, so they quickly cobbled together a Jurassic Park one to staple in instead. They don't have faith in their own worlds anymore, and they're trying to reach as far as they can outside of them. Have I been a fan of any of these IPs? Yeah, they've made secret layers of stuff I absolutely love. The Princess Bride, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There's a bunch. My issue has always been that I love Magic as swords and sorcery style fantasy, and I didn't want them to move away from that. But at this point, they already have. It's like, my opinion is irrelevant in terms of what Wizards is going to do. So, like, I think secret layers like Fortnite are really stupid, right? I think that's dumb. I think that's really dumb. But whatever, they made it. It exists. That's the reality. So yeah, they'll continue to amp this up, right? We're gonna get way more Universes Beyond before it ebbs back to them. Like, once they stop making enough money from Universes Beyond, because it costs them a ton in licensing fees. Magic the Gathering has really good margins. But when you license, you have to give a good chunk of your profits to the license holders. So Wizards of the Coast is giving up a bunch of money to do this. It's really unfortunate that the worlds they're designing themselves are so disappointing, right? It's a sad reality. Jess, it doesn't matter how many regular decks of cards people buy. You can buy a deck of cards for like $5. a booster pack of Magic costs Wizards of the Coast 25 cents to produce, and they can sell it for $5 to like $35 for one booster pack. So it's not, it does, just because they're on cardboard rectangles does not make them equal. Playing cards are cheap bullshit. Hell, speaking of playing cards, I literally have, fuck's sakes. Are you kidding me? Son of a, fuck it. You know what? I ain't even getting it. Fuck it. It fell behind a box. I hurt my knee earlier. I ain't dealing with this shit. You just imagine I'm holding a MetaZoo deck of cards. Like actual, like, poker deck of cards. There you go. It's there in my hand. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. It fell all the way back there. Fuck it. It can stay there and rot for all I care. Concrete, yep, they made a Fortnite secret lair. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, a couple years from now, the power level of cards will be exponentially stronger. Absolutely. Commander will have way more craziness in it. All the Universe Beyond stuff will be amped up hardcore. And Magic will be unrecognizable for anybody who started playing a long time ago and comes back to it. You know? Joshua, you only saw MetaZoo once in stores? I never saw it anywhere in stores. Aside from when I went to the game store I go to, and the guy who owned it was like, here, I got you this to make fun of it. And I brought the MetaZoo to make fun of it. I brought it back to my place to make fun of it. And then I talked to another guy who runs a game store, and he actually brought in a bunch of MetaZoo. And he said, I was like, so what about MetaZoo? And he's like, that game's a fucking scam, man. I dump that shit as fast as I can. I will not touch it. It's a scam. And this is a guy who he's a man of questionable morals. So if he is saying something's a scam, you know it's absolute garbage, because he will sell borderline garbage. He absolutely will. But he wanted nothing to do with MetaZoo. DJ Longhair says, Perps, injury, bones, hurt, fun. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. I shall rub your fucking $2 on my knee because I need it. All I want is my knee to feel better by the time that I get to Friday, because that's when I'm going to Toronto. I'm going away next weekend, and I'm going to the Grand Archive Championships, and I'm hoping that my knee will be feeling better by then. Jesse, how did I feel about the Assassin's Creed cards? Mostly indifferent, honestly. I thought it was funny that Wizards of the Coast was desperate to be like, okay, listen, guys, when we made the Assassin's Creed set, we totally thought you were going to like Aftermath. And we know you hated Aftermath, like really hated it. So we're getting rid of the big score from Thunder Junction. Like, we're going to put it into the set and not sell it as a separate thing. But the Assassin's Creed stuff, we've already like made it and there's nothing we can do. So we dropped the price a bit and we hope you're okay with it. But like, bro, I opened the one box for the game store. He's like, here you go. This is all I'm going to open to the set. I opened it. Every third pack had Adewale in it. Like, he was just like, what the fuck? Why did I get 8 Adewales out of 24 packs? These packs fucking suck. It's hilarious how it highlights how much Wizards doesn't give a shit about what they say they do. Like, they banned Crusade because Crusade shows the Knight Templars and it's culturally insensitive according to them. So they banned Crusade because it shows the Knight Templars. And then they made the Knight Templars in the Assassin's Creed game. Because it's like, really, listen, we banned Crusade because we're never going to reprint that card. It's old and weak. And idiots on Twitter will praise us and be like, great job, Wizards. We're making progress together. But we don't give a fuck about you people. You mean nothing to us. We would feed you into a meat grinder for a nickel for our shareholder if it wasn't illegal. So we're going to print the Knight Templars in the set. Go fuck yourself, right? Guess what? Twitter idiots won't even put it together. The people who are cheering us on for getting rid of Crusade won't even notice that we did that. And if they do, fuck them. We don't care. We want money. You don't matter. People don't matter. Money matters. That's Wizards of the Coast's credo. They will lie. They will pretend, oh, we're genuinely caring people. And we care about this stuff. And we care about social issues. Oh, really? Why aren't you pushing those social issues in countries where it's not as politically acceptable? Well, because we really believe in it. Oh, okay. So How many Pride products are you releasing in the countries where they're throwing people off the roofs for this stuff? Well, none, and we even ban we even make sure they can't see the articles on the website, but we really care about these issues. They're really important to us, as long as we don't have to do anything other than sell products to fucking chumps who will fucking cheer for us when we don't give a shit about what they actually care about. But we're really pretending really, really hard, you know? DJ Longhair says, slight Lord of the Board challenge. Slight. You just upped it by 50%, man. 50%. Eric, that's it. That's magic now, buddy. That's magic. The craziest thing to me is the fact that when they came out with the Kaladesh set, I remember complaining about the fact that they were putting helicopters and high-tech cars into Magic the Gathering. I was like, this is not the kind of, like, this is not swords and sorcery style fantasy. I'm like, Magic's supposed to be like Lord of the Rings, guys. Do you remember that scene in Lord of the Rings where Gandalf drove a tank and then there was a little animated tank that drove by with Gandalf in it? And like, that was the most absurd shit that I could come up with on the spot to explain why it felt so wrong to have this technology in Magic the Gathering. And you flash forward to now, and there are literally tanks in Magic the Gathering, and Gandalf's in Magic. You can have Gandalf drive a tank, and that's not even the craziest shit. It's insane. It's insane. Just nah, I think Carly would be bored by that. You want Carly action. You want to see Carly. Then you got to go over to my movie channel where me and Carly review movies together. All right? So I guess since I'm mentioning it, I'll grab the link for it because I am telling people go over, subscribe to this channel, watch the videos and stuff because it helps the channel. It needs the subscribers and the watch time so it can grow. Jesse, is this channel my full-time thing? Being an entertainer is my full-time thing. But I have, 5 channels now? Magic Historian, which we are on right now. Fantasy Geographic, which has a bunch of Magic lore and a little bit of lore from other things like Warhammer and Dungeons & Dragons. My Hatcher channel, which is all kinds of stuff, Magic the Gathering, other games, and whatever. My live stream channel, where all these live streams go, and where I live stream when I'm not live streaming here. And my new Hatcher Movie Talks channel, which just came into creation like 3 days ago. And already has a couple of videos on it that are nice and long. And me and Carly are having a good time with it. So it's fun. And there are fun little jokes in it and everything. So yeah, it's an ever expanding kind of thing. Yeah, that's space mechs from Kamigawa. Well, you'll have actual outer space mech action, I'm sure, in the Space War set, right? Break stop. Yep, exactly. Spaceships, helicopters, all of it. Why not? Concrete, thanks, buddy. It seems like people are enjoying it, honestly. I'm having a good time. Jesse, you must have watched some of my lore videos because my voice is so familiar. Yeah, if you've ever watched ones that's bum 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 bum, and then it goes fantasy geographic, right? Greetings, lovers of lore. If you've ever heard that, that's me. It's funny. Some people recognize and go, wait a minute, you're the fucking Magic Historian. And other people go, oh, fuck this guy. Oh, I hate him. I fucking hate him. Hey, Juglum Gerthulu, thank you for subscribing to the movie review channel. Check out them movies. Jesse, of course you're joking. Geez, I wonder who knows more about Magic the Gathering. Me or my fucking wife. When she played it for a brief period of her life, and I've been obsessed with it for the last 30 fucking years. All right? So yeah, I wonder who knows more. Jesse, you heard Lovers of Lore. Definitely heard that before. That's me, bro. That's me. Shelton, you got a new gaming PC. Can't wait to get Minecraft. Oh shit, are you going to join our world? Yeah, man. You got to get Zircon to whitelist you so you can join the server. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. That's dope, man. I was really happy today. When I logged in, there was nobody playing, and then 2 other people popped into the world. And I was like, oh, awesome. They like, that's the most people we've had on at one time now. Because people are on at different times. But I just set up a blaze spawner grinding setup that has solar panels powering it, so it runs nonstop. And now I've farmed like 300 blaze rods already, and I have an ender pearl farm as well. So anybody who needs blaze rods or ender pearls, I've got shit tons. And the blaze spawner getting me blaze rods is actually just a side effect. I actually need it for the essence, because I can use that essence. There's an auto spawner I'm going to build that will make wither skeletons, and then I can behead the wither skeletons, collect up their heads, create withers. I have a wither containment chamber that they can't escape. It's indestructible, and it renders them completely harmless and instantly kills them so that I can harvest nether stars, right? So I'm getting up the scale. Also, because other people are playing in the world, instead of just having slapdash crap everywhere, I'm actually building a gigantic tower. I'm actually building genuinely cool looking buildings and stuff. So it's sweet. Roman, it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh when someone gets angry and they're like, oh, it's this guy. It's like, okay, miss out on the lore. What the hell do I care? You know? What do I care? Do I know more about Carly or Magic? Oh, I know more about Magic. Like, don't tell Carly this, but I love Magic. I tolerate her. Milano! Sorry it's late. Sorry you're late. It's playoffs. It's all good, man. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. Watch what you want to watch. No worries. No worries. Oh, you got the promo? You got the Doctor Strange counterspell? Oh, bro, that's awesome. Doctor Strange is cool. Doctor Strange is cool. I saw that and was like, bro, I would not complain about having a Doctor Strange counterspell. Pretty fucking sweet. Pretty sweet. Hello! Yeah, Magic the Gathering's awesome. You can play it when you feel like it, right? You feel like playing Magic? Cool, do that. You want to do something else? Do something else. That's a perfectly healthy mentality. Avocado, yo, I saw those. I saw those comic book promos where it's like the Magic card, but it also has like the what comics have with the issue and everything up in the corner. I saw that. Also, you won the earlier stream. You were Lord of the Board at the end. So I did add you into the box of glory. You've got your first win. And once you've got 5, you become a mega glorier. You get put on the roll of mega glory. Okay, son, you were introduced to Magic in 1995. Nice, buddy. You're almost as old school as me. I started back in 94. Back in 94. See you later, Corner. Have a good one, bro. Have a good one. Man, did I play Magic abysmally today. And it happened on the live stream, too, which made it even more embarrassing. Jess, I don't know, man. I stopped counting after people get 5. You need to keep track of that yourself. You got to keep track of that yourself, bro. You sold the promo to somebody on the eBay staff? Well, whoever's got the money, right? Pierce, 94 was an awesome year to get into Magic. Hell yeah. I don't think you could get into it in Canada any earlier because we didn't get Alpha and Beta here. We had Unlimited as the first set that was available in Canada, as far as I understand. As far as I know it. Concrete, you got 4th place on a 128 player tournament. Did you get prizes for that, or were prizes just for first? Yeah, McGraw, somebody was trying to talk you into buying magic packs in 1999 so they could trade for your dual lands. Good luck getting dual lands buying packs in 1999. There wasn't a lot of revised kicking around at that point, bro. You wouldn't have been getting no dual lands. You wouldn't have been getting no dual lands. Yeah, no matter what properties Wizards choose to pursue, Magic the Gathering is still my favorite game. So, we haven't, I mean, if you told me all this stuff in the past, I might have been like, yo, there's no way I'd still be playing Magic under these conditions. But here I am. Here I am playing it pretty much every day. Habanero, flipping through the power cube and lurking. You think the cube is weaker than the current meta, but the old card ecosystem still plays smooth? Well, there you go. That's all you need to worry about. Does your cube function for you? Then who cares what's happening externally? Ah, fuck. DJ Longhair, the budget lord of the board battle begins. Squirrels, attack. Okay. DJ Longhair, dislodging Shelton from the board. Let's go. Let's go. Kason, Chandelar streams are fun. Yeah, Chandelar's great. I really like Chandelar. I have it on this computer, and it's very, very likely that sometime soon I will be doing some more Chandelarization. DJ Longhair, Lord of the Board, thanks for the super chat, big boy. Jojo, do I think I'll be able to figure out the tier system Wizards making Commander? Of course. It's really simple. The only tier that matters is tier 4. And tier 4 exists for Wizards to put all the most powerful cards into so they never have to ban anything. This entire tier system only exists so that Wizards can continue the nebulous Rule 0 concept that Commander has always had. And it allows them to unban everything that's not on the reserved list from the banned list. So they'll unban the stuff and they'll just put it all in tier 4. That's it. If a card's too powerful, tier 4. When the stuff first comes out, they'll classify them as tier 2 or tier 3 so that you buy them. And then when they're like, oh yeah, they're tier 4. So then maybe you'll take them out of your deck and they can sell you more tier 2 or tier 3 cards that are actually tier 4. The tier system just exists as a ruse as far as I'm concerned. Do I think players will be able to figure it out? Of course not. Players couldn't figure out the fucking 10-point power scale. Everybody's deck was a fucking 7 or lower. And then you play against and you're like, bitch, this is a fucking 10. Are you out of your fucking mind? So it's all the same thing. Wizards is going to say the same thing. Talk to the people at your table ahead of time. Let them know what you're playing. That's what determines things. That's it. That's it. If you think for a second that Wizards of the Coast is about to sit down and classify 30,000 different Magic cards into tiers, you're high on crack. That's not going to happen. You are not going to find all the cards in tiers, right? You're here to fend for yourself. They're not going to ban shit, and they are going to power fuck the format, bro. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So the tier system is going to be fucking useless. Just useless from a player's perspective. It's going to be meaningless. Meaningless. Like, if somebody comes in with a deck that they say is tier 2 cards and all the cards are tier 2, but you feel like they're tier 3 power, what does that mean to you? The tier system is a fucking joke. There's no way they're not going to... There's no way it can go right. They can't not fuck it up. Right? Pierce, there will be no bannings ever in Commander again. Wizards didn't want Jeweled Lotus or Mana Crypt banned. They asked the Commander Rules Committee not to ban them. Wizards will never do another Commander ban again. Ever. I'm saying it as a fucking fact. They literally are like, the most powerful cards are being tier 4. We can create more tiers if we need to, so we can make tier 5. So all they will ever do is move cards into a higher tier, which again turns into a rule 0 conversation. There won't be bannings. There won't be bannings. Ever. Ever. That's it. Ever. So no more bannings, plus anything on the banned list that isn't specifically reserved lists that Wizards can just reprint, they will. They'll do it in clumps. They'll go, Primeval Titan, Iona are now legal in Commander. And guess what? In 2 weeks, we are about to start previews for the new fucking Commander Hoopity Jupe Butt Toucher set. And guess what the set has in it? Iona and Primeval Titan as Ultra Mythic Rares with 7 different treatments. Only available in collector packs. Right? Right? That kind of shit. 100%. 100%. That's how it's going to go. Beef, you tried to play casual one-on-one opponent at a top-tier Madness deck and you never played at a card shop again. It's just like, oh, no. 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 That's right, Angus. Power creep on crack. 100%. They're going to power fuck Commander, bro. That's absolutely what's going to happen. There's no question of it. Milana, what's the difference? What's the difference between a tier system and a non-tier system? If your opponents feel your deck are too powerful, they're going to say that either way, right? Like, it's not like, oh, you know what? I think your deck is too powerful because it has tier 4 cards in it. Those cards exist now before the tiers do. You'd have the same cards. So what does that change? What does that change? The tier system may as well be called the fucking tier system, but spelled T-E-A-R, you know? Because you're going to tear up when they tear up the tiers. All right, I need more water and more ice. So, intermission. Don't be a dink! Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. All right, I'm back. I am back. Most of your friends think Crypt and Jeweled Lotus will get unbanned before the end of the year. I doubt it, Shelton. I doubt it. My guess is Wizards of the Coast will unban those later. Now that they're in charge, they can wait. If they wait a couple of years, they can go, the power level of things have changed, and we think it's safe to reintroduce these cards. In the meantime, like, they already sold a bunch of Jeweled Lotuses and Mana Crypts. They have a whole bunch of new targets. Why waste your time reprinting that shit right now when you can do it a couple years from now? Like, Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt will most likely come off the banned list. I imagine everything non-reserved list will. But to me, the business strategy that make, like, if they take the Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt off the list, then it's going to look like greedy cash grabbery, backpedaling, all this kind of shit. And it brings a bunch of drama with it. They can toss it off to the side, not care about it until a couple of years from now, and milk all the other stuff. There's a ton of stuff on the list they can milk first, you know? Juggle me heard Celine Dion sings Don't Be a Dink when she's in the shower. Yeah, see, break stop, exactly. That kind of feeling you have where you'd be angry if they unban those cards, there's a bunch of people who would feel the same way. So it is far less controversial for Wizards of the Coast to just target other things. Considering how many times they've printed both those cards as well, you know? It's been a while since we've gotten a Primeval Titan. When was the last one? In that one secret lair? The Kaldheim secret lair, maybe? Was that the last time? And Iona, how many times has Iona even ever gotten a reprint? Right? It's a good question. I don't know. Okay, yes. She's been printed in the original Zendikar and then has gotten 2 reprints. One in Modern Masters 2015 and one in From the Vault Angels. Okay. So yeah. Just milk that stuff, man. All those cards are being speculated on by the finance people. They're just like, anything that's not reserve list on Commander ban list is a target. It's a target. I don't know, Millmaster. I don't think that they will keep them banned forever. I do genuinely think at some point, a few years down the road, they will unban Mana Crypt and the Lotus. I do think that. I think that they're just, they don't give a fuck. And unbanning it a couple years from now isn't going to matter because a bunch of people who are fucking angry about it will have quit Magic. And there'll be a bunch of people who are happy about it, and Wizards will make a bunch of bank. So they're not going to give a fuck. They're not going to give a fuck, son. They don't care if people complain if they buy. The only time they care is if people won't buy. Aftermath, Magic 30, that's it. Those kind of things where like people aren't buying this and they hate it. Okay, this is a mistake, but people are buying it. Some people are bitching on the internet. Okay. Are we making our money? Then fuck them. Let them complain. Let them cry on the internet. Who gives a shit? You know? Primeval Titan will be the Hulk. Nah, it's too late. It's too late for that. Like, it takes a year and a half for Wizards. Like, they work a year and a half out to 2 years out. So, you're not going to see the changes based on the fact that Wizards in charge of the Rules Commander Committee shit probably for, like, at least a year. Theoretically, it could affect, like, a reprint set where they could slide them in depending on where it is. But it takes time for all of it. It takes time for all of it. So, it's going to take a while for this to work its way through the system. What up, Siegel? Hulk will be, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't the Hulk be a card, right? All the big popular heroes will absolutely get made into cards. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Do I think anything will be unbanned anytime soon? I doubt it. I doubt it. the optimal time for Wizards to unban stuff is right before a new set's coming out. If they unban something like months and months in advance, then you can just go and buy copies on the secondary market, which equals fewer people actively trying to buy the packs from Wizards. So having a tighter window between the unbanning and the actual reprinting. Maybe if it's some card that's super low value, if there's anything on the Commander ban list that is like a worthless card on the secondary market, I could see them unbanning that as like a goodwill gesture, going, we're here to steward the format and we want you guys to get used to unbannings because we're going to make the format better. So we're unbanning these two 25-cent cards. Doesn't matter that we're not reprinting them. You know what I mean? So if there's anything cheap on the Commander's ban list, that might get unbanned, I should say, pretty quickly. But anything that could have reasonable value will come back as a fucking mythic rare. That's what's going to happen. And it'll come back slightly before it's available. So they'll like announce the unbanning and then 2 weeks later announce a set where you can buy it. Or maybe they'll just do it all together. Maybe they'll literally go, we're unbanning the card. And then the artwork they show is, this is the special edition we're going to be releasing. Wouldn't surprise me. Breakstop, you wish people would give less of a shit about other people crying on the internet, to be honest. The reality is, most people don't pay attention to people crying on the internet, right? It's just like whatever. People will bitch about everything. There are literally threads complaining about me where you can, like, hundreds of people are participating and bitching about me. And I'm like, wow, you guys, I mean, first of all, thanks for feeding my ego. Carly will hear me giggling from the other room sometime and she'll just be like, what are you laughing about? I'm like, some of the shit these people are saying about me. It's so hilarious. It's like every single thing. And I'm like, I don't care. Go ahead. Have your little fucking party talking that shit. I'm having a good time doing my thing. I get to do it. You all know who the fuck I am, so much so that you need to be like, bleh. I mean, I was in Keyforge for like 2 or 3 weeks before threads started popping up about me. So people like to cry on the internet. Fucking let them. Who gives a shit? It doesn't affect anything, really. You know what I mean? Like Wizards doesn't care how bitchy people get about things. They only care when you don't buy the product. So the Rules Commander outrage thing that just happened, that happens to Wizards. They're not going to give a fuck. They'll just be like, whatever. They're yelling. Who cares? Everything's still selling. So fuck them. That's it. Is everything selling? Fuck them. That's Wizards' motto, bro. That's the deal. Siegel, you got yourself your first dual land. Well, congratulations. It's pretty wild to me that like these have become like holy grail level cards for people, because I remember having stacks of dual lands like this big, you know, just having them in a box because they were great traders. It's just like, oh shit, I want your Ancestral Recall, and just start throwing dual lands down on the table. Like, I remember walking into the game store with a box full of fucking whatever rares and just trading for shitloads of duels. So they were like the equivalent of any $10 rare is maybe a $20 rare in this current time frame. So, you know, like the fact that now they're fucking hundreds and hundreds of dollars a piece and everybody wants them, but they're way too expensive, so acquiring them becomes a lot more challenging. It's like, I played in the old days. I had it all, man. I had decks where all my lands were fucking dual lands, and I had the Lotus, Ancestral Recall, fucking Time Walk, Library of Alexandria, Moxes, you know, all of it. All kinds of awesome old Legends cards back in the old days, you know? I was saying, it's 20s now, Millmaster. Back then, they were fucking $10. I just adjusted for inflation, you know? Jojo, watching people open up packs that you opened as a kid and seeing the same cards and how much they cost now is crazy. It's wild, isn't it? It's genuinely wild. It's crazy that Magic has even survived this long, right? Concrete, that's true. People definitely talk shit way more on the internet because there's no repercussions for it. And I'm not I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I never get sad about people talking shit. Sometimes I get annoyed at idiots like fucking like talking down to me when it's like, bro, you're not smart enough to be talking down to me. You're a fucking clownish moron who probably can't even tie his own shoes. So you legally shouldn't be allowed to talk to me like this. Like, sometimes I can get irate, but I never get sad. I never get discouraged. I'm just like, fuck them, bro. Who gives a shit? But other people, there are definitely, like, there are people who've just shut down their channels. They're like, some people just turn off the comment section entirely. Fuck you, I don't want to hear from you. Some people just say, I'm not doing this anymore. All the negativity and people being assholes, it gets to me. And I think about it for hours. I mean, hell, the guy who played Spiderman, Tom Holland, said he stopped reading stuff on the internet because he'd read a comment and then it would bother him for like the next 3 hours. And it's like, you know, like people act fucking shitty on the internet a lot. It's fucking sad, but it is what it is. So, whatever. I'm lucky that I got a thick skin, and ultimately, it's like, go ahead, fucking talk about me, bro. I don't give a fuck. If you come here and do it, I'm gonna fucking mute it, because I don't need your bullshit, right? I'm not sitting there going, yeah, put it in there, and I'll leave it. It's like, fuck you, bro. If you're being a dickhead to me, of course I'm gonna mute you. If I just don't like your comment, I'll delete it. Fuck you, I get to decide what fucking stays here. I rarely do that, but I do it without reservation, because get fucked, bro. I don't need your fucking bullshit. I don't need to leave nothing here. If you annoy me, I just delete it. If you annoy me too much, I mute you. It's a real straightforward system. It saves me fucking time from reading your comments later on, right? When I'm going back through shit or having you come back and leave more nonsense to waste my time with. Because some people are fucking goofs. I can't believe you play Magic when you talk negatively about it. Oh, so you're not allowed to have any complaints about anything you enjoy, huh, idiot? Oh, no, I get that. I guess that just applies to me, right? So you shouldn't engage with anything you don't like at all? Is that your position? Because if that's the case, you don't like this video, which means you're not allowed to engage with it. Don't watch the video. Don't comment on it. You don't like it, so you're not allowed to be here. Like, how does this work to you, you fucking idiot? Really? You fucking moron? Like, that's the most annoying part, is that I can't force these people into a conversation to explain themselves because it's just a digital text thing. And I can't just be like, listen, moron, explain your fucking idiotic position to me. To my fucking face, explain what the fuck you're saying, because you seem like a moron to me. Your position is, I have complaints about Magic, and yet I also play it and tell people I play it? I can't believe you're telling people you're playing Magic and also saying these bad things about it. Well, I guess you're a fucking moron who can't handle how people actually are, because I promise you, you're exactly the same way. You have no fucking self-awareness or awareness of others. You just know enough about yourself to go, I shall put my idiocy out into the internet for actual intelligent people to have to fucking suffer through. Fuck you, moron. I demand reparations. You're a fucking idiot, okay? Fuck you. You shouldn't be allowed to even be on the internet because you're a fucking magoo. You love your fucking worthless opinion. The hilarious ones are the ones where you can just tell they didn't even watch the video. I have a strong opinion about this. And it's like, this isn't even what we're talking about in the video. It's like if we were talking about fucking violins and then you walked in and you're like, I hate trampolines. You all fucking suck for loving trampolines. Fuck you. I know exactly what's going on. Trampolines. And then just walks out of the room. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about, idiot? I don't want to listen to what you have to say, but I have strong opinions on what I'm making up that you've said, and you're gonna hear them. It's like, damn, man. That's like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Concrete. Thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoy what I do, buddy. I've been having a good time all along, and a ton of people support me. Like, why would I listen to the people who are being negative dipshits? There are motherfuckers who come along and try and tell me. Somebody recently came along, and I can't even remember. I can only like half remember the comment because it mentioned Mr. Beast and maybe SpongeBob? I don't remember. That part I might be confused about. But he mentioned Mr. Beast and complained about my fake voice and is like, maybe if you stopped doing this, you'd have people subscribing and watching instead of your fans who are already watching. And I read that and I was just like, I've been doing the same thing the whole time and talking the same way the whole time. This is just how I talk, right? So, hell, my mom sometimes has to be like, oh, can you take it down a notch? Because I get fucking amped up when I'm talking. So, it's literally like, I've been doing this the whole time, and this is what people have come for and subscribed for. So, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, maybe you didn't do this thing. You get people instead of the people who came because of that thing or whatever. What? You're saying that this won't draw in people except the people it's already drawn in, and you don't see the logical inconsistency in your own dumb fuckery, bro? Okay. Have fun being a moron. I love that. Hi, I just got here and this is my first time here, and I have some strong advice for you. Well, maybe you should write it on a piece of paper and then cram it all the way up your ass, moron. Because let me tell you, I don't take advice from pretty much anybody, especially not random dumb fucks who have just shown up. I can't respect your opinion because you haven't demonstrated your intelligence. You've demonstrated that you're a fucking clown who's in love with their own opinion and thinks things should be a way specifically for you. So at the end of the day, I don't want more entitled twats like you here anyways. So if what I'm doing makes you not want to be here, that's a win for me, Chief. You know? That's it. That's it. Yo, Uber, I remember the BBS days, bro. I remember that. That's right, Janelle. You're 100% right. Spiderman is big enough that they can support an entire Magic set off it. That is not incorrect. Jess says, Wizards is a cow tit, milk is magic. You can like one and not the other just fine. That's a great analogy. That's hilarious. J Money, the funny thing is the people who hate would act the complete opposite way in real life and look so cringe. It's weird how people operate. Like, people just spasm things out without really thinking. It's almost subconscious what they're doing. It's like people don't expect me to read it and take it seriously, which is wild to me. When I started, I was fundamentally unprepared for that. Like, my brain went, I never leave YouTube video comments. I only would if I really care. So if somebody's taking the time to leave a comment, they really care. So I would be encountered with ridiculous comments that made no sense to me, where I'm like, I'm doing a video about a scam, how to avoid the scam. And then, like, this happened with Keyforge too. But anyways, I'm doing a video about how to avoid a scam. And this guy leaves this comment that makes it sound like he wants people to get scammed. And I was just so confused. So I very politely responded to him going, I don't understand your position. This is what it sounds like you're saying. Do you want to like explain it in a way that makes more sense so that I actually get what you're saying? Because it sounds like you want people to get scammed, but that can't be your position, right? And then I just got a response back going, you're an idiot. Other creators would have just ignored my comment. And I just was like, what does not compute. You typed a comment on my video to me that I was supposed to not read and pay attention to. And he called me an asshole because I responded to it asking for clarification. And I was 100% polite with that. And it was really eye-opening. And then you realize that this is a bathroom stall wall that they're scrawling shit on. And I'm the same difference as Nike shoes or a pumpkin vendor or whatever. I'm just some random thing. I'm not a person. I don't exist as a person to this person. And they also don't rate enough for me to read what they say and respond to it. Like, it was very strange. What up, JD? How it be, bro? Milano, I don't know how many more employees Wizards can lay off, bro. They already have to hire a bunch of contractors, and they seem to be running at full capacity the whole time, so I don't know. Yeah, avocado, exactly. It's so weird. Like, ignore me. What? I don't know, Siegel. I don't know exactly when all the prices started to go up to the crazy levels, but I suspect it was probably near the beginning of the, like, a little before the start of the 2020s, you know? I'd say probably in, like, the last 5 years. Jojo, yep, there's lots of companies that have turned into whale milking at the cost of their product's quality, and then they get a bunch of money from the whales, and then the product fucking dies. Like, people don't understand that just hearing this set sold the most of any set ever doesn't mean you're doing the best ever, right? Like, they don't get it. I liken it to a family, right? Where you've got like kids, okay? So you got like fucking 3 kids or whatever, right? And you make 50 grand a year. And then one year, you sell one of your kids for $100,000. Now you've made $150,000. You just tripled your profits. And you can do that again the next 2 years in a row. Sell off another kid for 100 G's. Sell off another kid for now 150 G's. So you just made $200,000. Record profits for the family. Doing better than ever. Except the family's done because there's no more kids to carry it on ever. It's done. There's no future. They sold the fucking future. But the numbers don't lie. They went up. So automatically what they did was right and good. There's a lot of people who ascribe to that and think that that's a counter argument when I'm talking about all the problems with Magic. We're making record banger numbers. That's it. They're making record sales numbers. And it's like they've heavily inflated the price of their product. You have no idea of the health of the game or of the player base. Sorry, but that number does not tell you nearly the whole story. It tells you currently in the short term, they have raked in some extra money. That's all it tells you. That's it. That's it. What up, Thompson? My day's been pretty good, buddy. How you doing? Do I remember when Black Lotus was like $300? I remember when Black Lotus was like $50. I remember seeing a Mox Emerald for $15, and I thought to myself, what kind of fool's going to pay $15 for a forest? And that's Canadian money, by the way, right? Vlockies, what is Magic? What even is Magic anymore? I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. Things have changed. Things have changed. Uber correct. Doesn't matter as long as the last quarter is profitable. This style of shareholder capitalism requires infinite growth, which is impossible, but the company has to kill itself trying to make that happen. And it doesn't matter what it loses in the short term, right? So it's got to start hacking off its own fingers and its own hands to pour enough blood out. And then what's it going to do? Fall over and die. But the shareholders don't care. They'll just go and put their money somewhere else. Because ultimately, we're not really Hasbro's customers. The shareholders are. We are the wallets that they open to get the money for the shareholders. We're not who they consider to be important. The shareholders are. That's it. Yeah, and unfortunately, that ain't going to happen. I agree with you. It would be great to go back to basics, the way it used to be. Because that way worked. But that doesn't make as much money as Papa Hasbro wants right now. And so it's just short-term, knee-jerk bullshit, insane power creep, and ever-spiraling prices, and other gimmicks as opposed to a properly balanced and stewarded game, right? Yeah, J-Money Magic is universes beyond and secret layers now. That's, I mean, where you put those two together, it is what they make the most of, right? Like, in terms of individual products, if you consider each secret layer different, but not purely in terms of cards. Cthulhu, yep, it's what destroys companies. Like, honestly, what's happening with Magic the Gathering finally made me understand something I did not understand as a kid. And this, I want to open this Christmas. But this is the perfect, like, I never understood why the company that made the Lifesaver storybooks fucked it up so bad. Because when I was a kid, these were a necessity. If these weren't in our Christmas stockings, we would have rioted. Lifesaver storybooks that have a whole bunch of different flavors. This one has 8 different flavors in it, right? So basically, we would have these every Christmas. But one Christmas you get them and you're like, there's less rolls in here. And then another Christmas you get them and there's even less rolls. And then one year you get them and inside it's just 6 assorted rolls. And assorted were the ones that were always on sale at the store. They were the regular ones that suck. You don't even want those. Goodbye Winto Mint. Goodbye Butter Rum. Goodbye the exploratory flavors they did, like original bubblegum flavor and all that. There was so many different cool flavors and you could trade them and stuff. And then it became 6 assorted rolls. And I just said to my parents, I don't want Lifesaver storybooks anymore. They're a waste. They're garbage. They're nothing. And I always wondered, I'm like, why would a company take a product that they could sell to me forever and forever, and butcher it so badly? And you realize it's because of short-term profits. They go, if we go from like 10 rolls down to 8 rolls, we're reducing the amount of product we have to produce by 20%, but we'll get to sell it for the same price. And then they do it. And it works, and they make the money, and they're like, oh, that was banger, awesome. Do it again. Then they get down to 6 rolls, and they're just like, well, if we cut it down anymore, that's probably going to be too much of a reduction, and people won't buy it anymore, because less people are buying it now because of the 6. Like, we made more money than we did with the originals, but less than we did with our last grab. So what do we do next? Change the 6 rolls to assorted rolls because that's what we're making. And then we don't have to spend the money to make different wrappers, different flavors. And so they do that. And it just killed the product. Killed it fucking dead. And I wondered for my whole life why it happened that way. And now watching Magic the Gathering, I finally understand. It's a year-by-year erosion, or in this case, not even year-by-year, quarter-by-quarter erosion based on get the money right now, who gives a shit? We're not trying to sell it to these guys for the rest of their lives. We're not trying to make money over the long term. Make the money now. Fuck the future. Burn the future. Give it to me now. Right? Zircon, all they did was assorted. And assorted was the stuff they sold on the shelves. So assorted was the product that they were already making and it was selling. So it wasn't a dump what's not selling. It was totally just we're already making these, just make it into this. J Money, your stocking always had the Lifesavers and an orange. Yo, there was always an orange or an apple at the bottom of my stocking. And like that was because my parents grew up really poor and fruit was a genuine treat for them. And so they put it in the stocking. But we were always just like, this shit's in the fridge all the time. And we can just have it whenever. Fuck you, where's the candy? You know? They would just go back in the fridge afterwards. Breakstop, you wish more people like us would become shareholders. Nobody wants to spend their money to fucking try and control the company buying shares, bro. And buying shares in Hasbro right now seems like a very questionable idea, considering the company's fucking dying, bro. Jess, yeah, that's standard practice. Shrinkflation, where they sell you the product for the same price and have like less. It was 200 grams. Now it's 180. I don't consider that the same as this. This is a distinctly unique thing to me because it was a moment of epiphany going, this is what Magic the Gathering is doing. So yeah, I have the special edition of it and I want to remember to open it this Christmas so I can have the nostalgia of seeing the rolls. This was made in 1992. 1992. So it's like fucking 31, 32 years old. That's crazy. Milano, yep, Thunder Junction has an above average amount of rares in the packs, for sure. 100%. Undercover, you were born in 92? So's my wife. So's my wife. Uber, am I going to start reviewing MREs? Bro, I've already opened MREs. I have like 9 or 10 MREs in my closet. I fucking hate them. The food in them is awful. It's awful. I wonder if any of those MRE videos are still up on Hatcher, because honestly, I don't remember everything that's over there. Yep. Military Mystery Munch, US MRE. Did that one in a live stream. Is that the only one? Yeah, well, at least one of them survived. At least one of them survived over on my Hatcher channel. There's a lot of random stuff on there. Goofy ass videos and stuff. So, since we're talking about that, there's the link to that channel. Kieran, that's what they want. They want a player base younger, but they're not going to get it. Magic's average player base is 30 years or older, and young people aren't going to be drawn into Magic on any real scale. Like, everybody's going fucking digital. This will be shit for fucking hipsters, bro. Hipsters will be like, check it out, I play physical cards. But the majority of people will totally, if they're playing Magic at all, it will be digital. So Wizards player base is going to fucking shrink. And Magic the Gathering, the card game, ain't going to pull the fucking kids in. Especially not when shit like Pokemon exists. So the reality is their customer base is going to age out and just be smaller. That's the reality. They'll get new people, but not as many. Magic isn't going to turn into a bigger booming thing. Like 10 years from now, Magic isn't going to be bigger than it is now. There's fucking zero chance that will happen. Absolutely zero chance. That's part of the reason they're doing all this fucking short-term bullshit is they know. They know. They don't have faith. They don't have faith that Magic will be around for the long term, right? They're not even sure Hasbro's going to be fucking stable in 10 years. So it's tragic. It's a tragic. Will people even be playing in 10 years? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, people like me will still be alive and have their cube and things, so they'll still be playing Magic for sure. What up, 10-4? How you doing? How you doing, buddy? Clayton, about the same time as the Snack Hat? Hell yeah, the Snack Hat. That video is fucking hilarious. The Snack Hat video is genuinely very funny. I enjoy going back and watching it on occasion. Well, they're not going to make less sets, Milano. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if they started cramming more sets in. One month, and what is it? 7 weeks. 7 weeks between sets now is roughly the pace we're going at. And it's absurd. It's genuinely absurd. Uber, you've been playing for 30 years. You're not going to quit, but your interest in new cards is definitely low. Yep, there are people who fall into that category for sure. For sure. I forgot to make the fucking thumbnail for this stream for when I upload it over on the other channel. All right, well, that's easy enough to do. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Let that load up. So yeah, I mean, it could go one way or the other whether Magic's actually going to be around in 10 years in terms of a product Wizards is selling. I'm inclined to say it will be. Okay, there we go. And all right, perfect. So yeah, I don't know how long Magic's gonna last overall. I doubt that I doubt that it'll be gone 10 years from now, but it definitely will have suffered from the choices they're making, and there's no way the player base is going to be as big as it is now. You know, it's it's like they're desperately groping all around them, trying, and they're trying to get the kids in, but kids don't give a fuck about Magic the Gathering, man. There's more and more things for them to get interested in, and there's a ton of card games too that will be way more likely to sweep them up. Pokemon, Magic, whatever, and then a small fraction of those might Pokemon, Lorcana, and stuff like that, and a small fraction of those might move into Magic at some point, but nah. Wizards of the Coast doesn't have anything to make them special, really. Like, the gameplay's good, but they don't have extra things like everything else does. Like One Piece, that fucking TCG is doing great, and it has a show with like 1,000 episodes. Magic fucking begrudgingly makes the tiniest bit of lore, you know? Thompson, thanks for the birthday wishes, everyone. Might as well do a birthday super chat. Shit, you said your birthday? I didn't see that. Happy birthday, big boy. Look at some historical shit. I know you like that. You get to be Lord of the Board now. Well, enjoy the rest of your birthday, man. Flesh and Blood has an interesting concept as a card game because you start out at full strength and get progressively weaker. So it's like a fight between two different gladiators, you know? And so you start with all your equipment and then you get bashed up and can lose stuff, which is a funky idea. Thompson, you're going to Azerbaijan to visit medieval churches. That's actually pretty cool. Concrete, yeah, I miss when they made the full books, bro. It was way better then. We got way more fleshed out stuff, right? The writing wasn't like incredible, but compared to what we get now, yeah, it is. Cthulhu, yep. If they can manage to get the Magic show up off the ground, which I am incredibly doubtful of, I believe it will get canceled again, right? But if they can get that up off the ground, that could help. That could help. But I mean, how are they supposed to bring in the younger fucking generations when most of them aren't going to give a shit about card games? And there's other better choices that have better quality, lower prices. Like, Magic is poor quality, more expensive, and unbalanced nonsense now. I feel like if I was presented card games as a concept now, and I had never encountered them before, that it would be unlikely that I would pick Magic the Gathering as my actual choice. You know? I got a lot of fond memories, cards, friends, all these other connections to it that make it an obvious choice for me. But all things taken away from that, and instead of it being subjective, it becomes objective. Is Magic the Gathering the right choice? Not really. You know? Millmaster, no one has a unifying vision for Magic. Well, according to the people who are taking over producing the show, they're just like, it's got access to every genre, so they're just going to do whatever slop they want. They can literally make any show that they want and then just basically go, hey, I wrote this, now it's going to be about Magic people. You know, like, oh, they go here. Oh, they go to some dumb whatever world. Like, Magic's fucking trashed its own identity to the point where when other people talk about it, they're like, Magic's great because it's literally every genre. And I'm like, it's really not. But they're making more and more of it that way. So at a certain point, it fucking will be. So Sliders the Gathering. Oh no! I left my home world. Can we go back to the world with the creaky gate where it hasn't been oiled? My mom oiled the gate. Oh no! That was my real world. Can we slide back to that one? Can we slide back there? Break stop. Anytime you try to play any other card game, it's never lasted. Most card games don't. Like, Magic the Gathering is one of the reasons that people expect it to. You can still play with the cards if you have friends who play it. If you treat card games like a board game instead of like, I'm not getting into this game, I'm looking for a lifetime commitment. I'm not buying your game unless you're going to produce it for 40 years. You know, like, I didn't get into Magic the Gathering because it had been around forever, you know? I wait a bit, though. I won't get into games that are brand new most of the time because most games die real quick. So you got to stick around for a bit for me to be like, it's like being in the trenches in the war. It's like, don't tell me your name, rookie, until you've survived for a while, because you'll be dead in a minute. I don't even need to know your name. All right, Light Seekers, I don't need to know. Goodbye. Right? That kind of stuff. Yeah, Cthulhu, like pretty much every big card game aside from Magic has other properties. Magic the Gathering was doing so well because it was the original fat daddy of card games and because the game was being stewarded properly. Now, like, this is Wizards admitting that what they do isn't good enough and they're just running to any IP they can, going, "Can we wear your skin, please? Can we wear your skin, please, so people will like us?" You know? Vlockies, I had some of that Transformers TCG. It died fucking fast, bro. It died fast. Jess, you recommend Oil Man game for a board game? Cool. There's like a million board games out there. Vlockies, where would they start in the TV show? Urza? No. The Gatewatch? Nope. Garth? Nope. This is Netflix and Wizards of the Coast. So whatever it is will first of all be female-led 100% by fucking strong female action. No doubts about it, right? This is Netflix in the current era. Check out Atlas. Hey, so my mech has pronouns and you have to respect them. Click. Do you know what I mean? That was the end of the movie for me. Literally, when the mech got angry about its pronouns, I was like, I'm done. Carly was already annoyed by the coffee, and I was just like, Jennifer Lopez was not selling the grizzled war hero or whatever she's supposed to be. Like, sometimes when you see these things, it comes across as these women are just trying to pretend they're like fucking dudes they've seen in other movies or whatever it is. And it really, you just don't buy it. And it's like, okay, you need your own identity. Like, do something like the Old Guard, where I believe Theron as the grizzled leader of this crew. It's 100% believable. It's 100% buyable. You got to do shit like that. So Jennifer Lopez was not like grizzled and curmudgeonly, but ultimately underneath good and likable. It's like those last two don't come across. And then the pronouns for the mech one is just like, you took time. Like, there's only so many minutes in a movie, only so many seconds, and everything you do needs to serve the fucking story. This is just bullshit. So whatever Wizards of the Coast and Netflix make is going to be infested with nonsense. You know it's going to be. So forget it. The Brothers' War, they hated that the Brothers' War was about two dudes. So they went, the first 40% of the story is actually about Kayla and how awesome she is. And also, did you know that Kayla actually discovered magic before everybody else? Sorry, what? You literally have a story where Hercule discovers magic. You already have a lady discovering magic in this story. Yeah, but like that's later, and like we have to start with a lady. So it's Kayla, and she's super black now, and like 40% of the story is about her learning magic. It's like, this is the Brothers' War, right? The Brothers' War between Urza and Mishra? Yes, exactly. And like, so check it out. Kayla is doing all this. Okay, what? Kayla's doing all this. Okay. Now we got lady sergeants in the troop pits and stuff yelling. Oh, okay. But, like, the cards, you have a different story. Teferi went back in time and introduced, like, magic to people in a different way or something. And that's why you can see all this different magic and all the third path stuff. It's like, it's clear. We saw the trailer. Teferi went back in time through that portal. Like, you literally showed us a trailer where Teferi went back in a portal, but then the written story was Teferi cries for existing as a man to every woman he can find. And he looks up at the women and he's like, they're the future. And then they accidentally lose him through time and space after he has praised them. And Sahelia has yelled about how awesome she is. And then Teferi is sent hurtling into an unknown location to him. And then he realizes it's his homeland, Zalfir. And he is confronted by the villainous leader of the bandits, who has captured an entire caravan, has murdered all the guards, plans to steal everything from the caravan, and kill all the merchants in the caravan. So Teferi is forced to get on his knees, cut himself, and apologize to her for being a man. And it's like, that's the story of the Brothers' War. That's the story of the Brothers' War. What? You have the most like epic fucking storyline, the origin part of the most epic storyline of the most epic character in Magic's history, Urza. But this is what you do? Are you high? Like, what the fuck? It's so goofy. It's so goofy. Yeah, exactly, Bill Master. Writers, the people making the cards and whatever. Well, the people making the cards and stuff, they're the ones coming up with the actual story. And then they're like, oh, we can't, but like, we're telling a completely different story. Yeah, but put out the trailer that completely contradicts it, where fucking Teferi kicks a Johnny out a window and a Johnny goes gah, 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 as he falls through the sky. And you're just like, what? Can we get that story, please? Instead of this garbage? And they're like, no, because like, those are all dudes. Those are all dudes. And it seems like a pretty good story. Yeah, but weenuses, bro. No. So anyways, Kayla, listen. I know you want to hear about these dudes in the story and whatever, but just listen. Once you hear about Kayla, you're going to be amazed, okay? Because she learns two kinds of magic. And white magic and red magic. So, here's the epic way she learns red magic. She goes and holds a rock. What? Yeah, she like heats up a rock. Okay. All right. But then the rock burns her hand. Oh no, okay. But then listen. She heals her hand with her own magic. She discovered healing magic to stop the burning, hurty hand. So, she learned all that before the Brothers' War thing. So, like, or after or something. You know, like Urza and Mishra? You know that story? But did either of them hold a rock and burn their hand? And then heal it? Huh? Like, that's it. I'm not even making it up. She just heated up a rock and burned herself and then healed herself. That's the origin of her epic magic. And she did it before everybody. 'Cause ain't no man learning magic first. Not in this multiverse or whatever. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Anyways, time for me to get out of here. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Have a good one. Happy birthday to the Lord of the Board, Thompson Wells. I'll add you into the box of glory, big boy. All right, now into the water with me. Get on up out of here.